Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Whenever people ask me what is the best investment instrument or how should I get started with investment, the first thing I ask them is what are your expenses? Do you track your expenses? And the answer is usually no. And without tracking your expenses, you won't be able to invest wisely. Say suppose even if you start investing and you don't know what your expenses are, there might be a time wherein there is some additional expenses that come to you and you will have to disturb your investments, and this is not the right way to get started. That's why the foundational step of building wealth and achieving financial independence, or if you plan to retire early, the basic step is to identify your monthly expenses. In order to get started, you have to track your expenses and see your monthly expenses for 3 to 6 months, and during this period you will be able to identify what are your unnecessary expenses that you can reduce, what are the mandatory expenses that you need to be very careful about, what are some additional expenses that comes maybe quarterly, half yearly or yearly, and how can you plan for those expenses, and also what is the safety margin between your expenses and savings rate. Once you identify your expenses, you would be very well able to plan that amount and decide on how much money you can start investing. By tracking your expenses, you not only become very intentional to the amount you are spending, but you also are in full control. And that's why you would be able to invest and save your money well. For people who are trying to achieve financial independence and trying to retire early, the basic foundation is to identify your monthly expenses, after which you can calculate what is the forecasted amount that would be required on a yearly basis, and based on that you can calculate your FIRE number. I would be creating a separate video on this, but for now the first step is to track your expenses. And how would a person be able to track if they are not used to it? Just create a WhatsApp group or use the notes section in your phone and just input all the expenses that you meet on a day-to-day basis and put it in an Excel on a weekly basis or a monthly basis and compare your monthly expenses. People really underestimate the value that tracking your expenses can bring and end up wasting money without knowing and without having control over their personal finance. Once you start doing this activity, you would be surprised to know the ways by which you can increase your saving potential and reduce your expenses drastically. Now, we usually hear various financial influencers and financial gurus talking about increasing your income streams. But for a normal person who's working day jobs, it's not very easy for them to increase their income streams. But what is in their control is to increase their saving potential by understanding their expenses. And that's why it's very important. YouTube influencers usually get most of their money because of their YouTube network and the YouTube income streams. For people who are getting started and who are working for a company, it's very important for them to start tracking their expenses and increase their saving potential through their salary, and then think about increasing their income streams. Obviously, when you have more money, you will be having more opportunities to increase your income streams, but the foundational step is to track your expenses and understand your saving potential at the current salary. If you like this video, do hit the like button, subscribe the channel if you haven't already, and please comment your thoughts and please share your valuable feedback. Thank you.